Okay. Now it's
Okay. We can start now?
okay.
Okay. So good morning or good afternoon, depending if you are located in Spain or in India. And welcome everyone to this special webinar. My name is Soledad Diaz. I'm Managing Director of the Association of Science and Technology Park of Spain, PTE. Today's webinar is about international use cases of disruptive technologies, and is organized by the Spanish technology platform for disruptive technology that we call Disruptive. For those of you that don't know what Disruptive is one of the Spanish technology platforms funded by Ministry of Science, Innovation and Universities through a Spanish science agency. And it's managed by our association, by ACTE. Disruptive is focused on the promotion of knowledge, collaboration, and development and application in the field of disruptive digital technologies. Currently, Disruptive has more than 800 members from different kinds of entities. The aim of the webinar of today is to promote knowledge, and in this case, also the international collaboration between Spanish and Indian companies and R&D entities. Before proceeding, I would like to thank IKP Knowledge Park, and in a special way to Bindu Nishal. She's Vice President of Agro-Innovation and World Health Sustainability Innovation Center in this park, for collaborating with us in the organization of the webinar of today. Today, we are going to learn about use cases of artificial intelligence and machine learning of two companies located in IKP Knowledge Park. The attendees of the webinar can write in the chat the question they want to ask to our speakers, and then they will answer all the questions at the end of the event once they have finished their speeches. A speaker has more or less 15-20 minutes to present use cases. So let's go to know the first one. He's Mr. Arun Kumar Ramasamy. He's the CEO of Smart Home Healthcare Solutions. It's a pleasure to have you in this online floor. So now the time is yours when you want.
Yeah, thank you for your kind words, and good morning, everyone. So I'm Arun Kumar Ramaswamy. Let me share my screen.
In the meantime,
Can you see my screen?
Oh, okay. No. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to talk about a YourHab platform. It's an online physiotherapy and digital rehab platform that we built. And I mean, like I was introduced earlier, I represent Smart Home Healthcare Solutions Private Limited, and we are based at HTIC in IIT Madras Research Park here in Chennai, and we are collaborating with IKP Knowledge Park in building this platform, right? So I'll start with the core team. So we are a team of both engineers as well as physiotherapists, right? So this our team consists of both physiotherapists and engineers. So Dr. Ravi Ranganathan, he's a physiotherapist with more than 35 years of experience, and he's an advisor or a mentor, so to say. And I am Arun Kumar Ramaswamy. So before this startup, I have more than 20 years of IT industry experience. Been a delivery director for the life sciences clients across the world, and then I started this along with my co-founder Ishwar. So he's an engineering graduate with more than 6 years of startup experience before he joined me in this team. And we also have Srividya, who is a consultant physiotherapist. She has more than 10 years of patient clinical experience before she joined us, right? So this is the core team, and then we have an extended team of engineers and the physiotherapists who are part of our team, right? The problem or the main issue that we're trying to solve is the musculoskeletal conditions. I mean, people with musculoskeletal conditions, because this is one of the most prevalent issues where it accounts for the number of working days lost due to an issue. MSK conditions rank at the top, right, when compared to any other condition. Here, the low back pain is one of the major reasons. Here, there are estimates that says more than 500 million or 0.5 billion people are impacted by low back pain every single year. Right. So this the estimate or the area that we primarily look at. The problem that we are solving, right? So when people go for any of these musculoskeletal treatments, the home exercises are critical part of recovery. It's not just the medicines, it's not just those prescription medications that the patient take, right? The home exercises or the movements also form a critical part of the recovery of the patient. And usually the patients, who do those the physiotherapist does those adjustments or treatments at the center or in the clinic, but then they also assign these home exercises for the patients to do those exercises at home, all right? And there are many studies that have shown that these patients, when they have to do these exercises at home, they either don't do it because they forget or for whatever reason they don't do it, or even when they do it, they don't do it correctly. Right, so they sometimes they don't have that live feedback, or they don't have that feedback mechanism at home, where they don't get that feedback, because of which they don't do it correctly, because of which it's not effective, right? Even when they do it, it's not effective. So this is the problem that we address. And there are studies which shows more than 50 to 65% of the people don't adhere to the home exercise programs, which leads to more number of sessions than needed, right? Let's say a person can recover in, let's say, 3 to 4 weeks time frame. It usually goes to 6 to 7 weeks because they don't adhere to these programs, which leads to more sessions, more cost in terms of recovery, right? And then, yeah, basically it also increases the amount of time they take off from their work in terms of being absent at or being productive at work, right? So this is the problem that we try to solve. And how we solve it is basically we use this machine learning library, where we get these joints of motion. We are able to identify those joints and then compute the angles of the joint. And the physiotherapist will be able to assess the joints of motion or the range of motion of the patient, and they'll be able to diagnose the condition, and then they'll be able to assign those specific customized home exercise protocols, right? So instead of just saying do these squats 10 times, right? They'll be able to customize that particular squat based on that condition of the patient, saying, okay, this patient, while doing the squat, maybe their knee angle can bend only up to 70 degrees to begin with, right? So they'll customize those angles or the basically they'll customize those exercises when they assign it to the patient. And when the patient does these exercises at home, they'll switch on their mobile camera. We have the app where they'll switch on the mobile camera, and they'll be able to look at this library of exercises as a reference, right? They'll be able to refer to those exercises. And when they actually do those exercises, we'll check the joints or the coordinates of the body part, right? To refer, to compare against the reference videos, and we are able to identify whether they are doing it correctly, right? So we also record the repetitions. We don't record any video or images due to the patient privacy concerns. We don't do recording of the pictures, but we are able to record the adherence in terms of how many times or the repetitions or the sets of exercises the patient is able to do. Second, whether they are able to do it correctly or not, right? In adhering to those specifications or to those angles that the physiotherapist have set up, right? So one, it ensures the adherence, and second, it also ensures the correctness, right? So this is what our platform does, or this is our primary objective to this platform. And it kinds of acts as a virtual physiotherapy assistant, right? It's a real time where the physiotherapist need not be at on the other side are looking at the patient live, right? I mean, this is like an independent virtual assistant that can ensure that the patient are adhering to this home exercises platform. I mean, home exercise protocols, and they're able to recover where we track this recovery over a period of time, right? So this is the solution that we are building. It's an app-based solution where we support both iOS and Android platforms, where the patients can download this app and they'll be able to schedule a session with the physiotherapist. And after the initial consultation, those exercises are assigned. And when those patients do those exercises, that recovery is tracked over the period of time. And then we also have those periodic interventions where let's say if a patient missed those exercises for whatever reason, right? Let's say if they are not able to do it on a certain day, or if they are still not able to do it correctly, even with these instructions, then the physiotherapist can intervene. Right, so they can contact them to find out what happened on a particular day, whether they are not well or whatever reason because of which they are not able to do it, or they need any additional support. The physiotherapist can intervene, and maybe sometimes when they find that those exercises are very difficult to do, maybe then they can reduce the intensity of the exercises, or maybe they can assign some alternate exercise to get this treatment going, right? So this is the overall functioning of the platform and that we have built. And in terms of the size of the market that we address, so this graph that you see, it shows the disorders or the people who have different types of issues in different range categories all across the globe, right? So if you see this blue or the one at the bottom is the musculoskeletal disorders, that forms the major component of the issues that the people generally have across the age groups, right? I mean, right from the childhood to the people as old as 80 to 84, right? So this forms the majority of the people who are having these issues. And usually this segment of the demographic in the age group of 20 to 60, right? That is where we find people are well-versed in terms of using their mobile smartphones, in terms of using the mobile apps better. And that's the age group, or that's the demographic that we try to address through our platform, right? So, I mean, some of the estimate says around 630 million people could benefit from the rehabilitation, and this is particularly concentrated, or this need is much more in Southeast Asian region, where the number of physiotherapists per population is much less compared to some of these developed countries that are in the world, right? So this is the market that we are trying to address. And in terms of how we integrate AI, right? So currently our platform, we are able to identify the posture of the patient when they does those exercises, and we are able to compare it against the reference video that we have. So, and then we are able to customize it, right? So that is done. And as the next step to improve it further, currently we are also working on giving those audio feedback to the patient, right? So currently it only says that whether they have done it correctly or not, right? So now we are also trying to include those audio feedback. Let's say if they have to, let's say, lift their arms another 10 degrees or slightly more, right? Or they have to keep their back straight, or they have to bend slightly less, and so on. Those are the audio cues or the audio feedback to the patients in a live format is something that we are planning to integrate into the platform as a next step, right? And then, I mean, we have another platform. I mean, the third and fourth are for the other platform that may not be relevant here. So this is how we are integrating AI into this. And this platform is built with an Indian context in mind, but then it's not restricted to Indian geography per se, right? I mean, in India, we have the number of physiotherapists that we have is 0.5 per 10,000 people against the recommendation of 1. So there is definitely a shortfall in capacity that we have to augment, or that we have to add. And we are building it in partnership with some of these practitioners on the ground who are actually practicing physiotherapy, right? So that's how we have done. And this is not something that is unique or something new invention that we do, right? There are a few more players who have similar offerings, like for instance, Flexify Me, Fix Health. So these are doing some of the similar work in India, and then some of the known brands internationally are Hinge Health, Sword Health, Kaya, and these are some of the big companies based at US who are doing similar work. Right. In terms of our differentiation, like I said, I mean, this is one of the platforms that we have. We have one more platform called Eagle Pro. Again, that's customized. I mean, that's meant specifically for these physiotherapy practices, right? Where we have good number of practices who are already using that platform, who are on board, right? So it's a existing relationship with those physios using that platform is what makes us different in terms of competing with these other players who are doing similar work. Right. So this is what I had. I hope I stuck to my 15 minutes time that was given to me. If you have any questions, I can answer it, or maybe we can take it at the end. I mean, based on how you want to do it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arun. It's a very interesting application of the AI to the health field. I think could be a lot of more applications, not only in the health, but maybe we can talk later, okay? Thank you so much. Now we are going to know the second use case of today. Is the case of Logi AI, and we have its founder and R&D manager, Vinay Krovagate. When you want, Mr. Vinay, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Just sharing my screen. I hope this is visible.
Yeah, we can see your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Vinay, and I'm director and founding member of Logi AI. So, this presentation is about eye screening solution that we have. So, I'll just give you first an overview what we do, and then we can go in detail. So, what we do is, we are a platform that uses WhatsApp, and from WhatsApp, we are able to take some pictures of the eyes of the people, and then we screen those images to tell whether the person has cataract or not. We also have some solutions like checking if the person has color blindness, or something related to that, right? So I'm just sharing a video to get an idea. Let me know if the sound is audible.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all know that cataract is the leading cause of blindness, accounting for almost 50% of global blindness. Early screening is crucial to prevent further damage to the eyesight. However, with only 20,000 plus ophthalmologists across India and with the busy schedules and long distances, it becomes extremely difficult to do this screening at the last mile. That's where Logi.ai helps in the first level of health screening and care management. The Logi.ai WhatsApp bot for doing a quick screening in just a few minutes. It receives an AI-generated report in less than 2 minutes. The images as well as the patient information is shared with the hospital and the doctors in real time for a quick feedback. She also books an appointment from the Logi.ai bot with the hospital. The Government of India has launched the Logi.ai eye screening bot as part of the first 5G use cases pilot, and currently it is being used in Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh for doing eye screening camps. The AI solution helps in the early prediction of cataract disease and also gives early warning of pre-diabetes. The state-of-the-art AI model is clinically validated and found to be 90% plus accurate.
10,000 लोगों का ये टेस्ट जिस पेशेंट हमारी जो डॉक्टर
pathways for clinics and hospitals and helps increase the patient footfall by more than 20%, eventually increasing the ROI for clinics and hospitals. Logi AI's game-changing AI solution is being adopted by more than 200 plus leading hospital brands in India, such as Dr. Agarwal's, Apollo Clinics and Hospitals, Sharpside Hospitals, etc., with more than 100,000 plus eye screening.
Okay, so I hope that this video was clear. So what we do is we just simply take a photo of eye using like we have to follow certain protocols to take this, and then we are able to comment something on if the person has some lens changes in their eyes, if their vision is getting blurry. Basically, this generally happens in cataract disease, and this is mostly related to age, and lot of people in India, they are not aware of this thing, and many of them just believe that their vision is getting blurred just because they are getting old. But that is not the case, and this is preventable. And if this is detected early, then they can easily take the next procedure to see it more clearly. Yeah. So this is like the whole overview. The problem is there are like lot of people who suffer blindness, and the major reason of this blindness is cataract disease. Okay, and this is totally preventable. Only they need a little awareness. They need to know that they have cataract, and they just need to get treatment done. They It is very easily available all across India in many places as well. They just need to know that they have this issue, and uh, so that is why we are creating kind of awareness using this solution, and many uh, hospital chains like eye clinics and uh, uh, healthcare providers are using our solution to create awareness around this. So this is basically an AI model. We use deep learning, machine learning with our algorithms, using this images captured and some extra information. We just know that this person has a high risk of cataract, or maybe even they already have it. Yeah, so we already have impacted over 200,000 lives through various partnerships. And yeah. Mm. So regarding the technology, it is machine learning, right? We have created a rigorous data set of lot of eyes that we capture, and we have trained our own algorithms on top of it, right? And that is how our solution works. And now, once so this solution is all over the WhatsApp, right? Can also be integrated through mobile applications, and this data is also shared with whoever is doing the camp, right? So we ourselves as a company, we don't do the camps. Rather, we are a technology provider to these hospital chains and eye clinics. They do the camps, or even the government, they do the camps. They get a proper dashboard of all the data. In case if they want to know how the whole camp is going, they also get all the information through that dashboard, right? Mm, yeah, so I'm also sharing paper that we have published. Mm, So this is how it works, right? We have this WhatsApp or mobile application. We have to send the images of their eyes, and we also take information of their demographics, age, and our algorithms has been trained to detect the eyes and properly capture the features that are required to detect cataract, right? And that is how we are able to generate the report. So the problem otherwise is, without using this solution, what happens is uh, the ophthalmologists need a special device called as slit lamp, and that is very expensive, and it is not available everywhere. Other ways, they use a the ophthalmologists use a pen torch to look into the eyes of the patients, but again that also needs like great amount of expertise. And the problem here is there are like lot less of ophthalmologists, right? And using our solution, anyone within like training of 15 to 20 minutes can easily capture the images, and they are able to get the report, like early signs at least. We are not saying that we are completely removing the diagnostic part. Rather, this is just an early screening to let everyone know that they possibly have this issue and they just need to get it checked, right? So for this is a very nice graph that you can see here. So in our study, we used the demographics across like genders and ages. If you see here, you can see that we started from the age 45, and here you can see this green lines. These are normal ones, but you see here after the age of, let us say, 55 or 60, this drastically increases. And so that is how we know that this is there are like many research done already that tell that this is age related disease, and it happens maybe due to pollution. There are like many reasons for this, but this happens mostly to elderly aged people, and the blindness that they get is totally preventable. They just need to know, and that they probably have this cataract disease. So, from our conclusions also in this research study that we have done, we also came to conclusion that this is related to age and mostly happens after age 55. Depends on your demographics as well in the area that you live as well. But this is the pattern. And this pattern is also similar with the other research studies that are there, right? So, mm, yeah, so this is about the solution. Uh, so just an example. So this is how images are being taken. So for example, at camps, uh, one of our partners, they what they do is they do simple camps. They just go around parks in Delhi, and they look for elderly people, and they just ask them if they are open to do this screening, and just in 2 minutes they are able to know that they probably have this issue or not. And in case they have this, then they're connected with the necessary uh, healthcare providers. Yeah, so that is how our solution works. Yeah, so that was about our solution. How much time do we have? I think I'm just over anyway.
You have 7 minutes more.
Yeah, so we have done just telling you about different deployments that we have done. We have implemented this in Delhi, uh, uh, capital of India, and then there are like some states across Northeast India. So this is how they do. Like they just perform a screening anywhere it can happen. They can do it in a camp setting where people can come and do the screening. They simply get a quick result. So for example, if their risk is very high, we just tell that okay, you probably have a very high risk of uh, cataract. So in cataract also there are multiple levels. So if it is a major cataract, then we quickly tell that okay, this you have to get it checked quickly. So we divide the people across the risk level. So high risk, medium risk, and low risk. So low risk is probably they're just getting a early version of cataract, not to worry too much. But for the high risk people, they are probably going to not able to see in some time. So they need to get this surgery done, right? So this was done in northeast of India. And so right now we have done around 200,000 screenings, and we plan to like reach more area. The only problem is the regulatory challenges, because you can't scale this solution, because this is eye image, right? Then we need to take all the precautionary and regulatory measures. So we are working in that area. We are ISO 27001 certified. We have test license of CDSCO. But that thing again is we are trying to work it out, regulatory aspects of it. So that is our solution. Apart from this solution, we also have oral screening solution. So instead of eyes, we take images of mouth, the oral area, and we suggest the problems like caries, cavities, calculus, gum diseases, things like that. So that is how it works.
Renee, if I could interrupt, maybe you could talk a little bit about your internationalization efforts as well as the work that you've done with Colgate.
Yes. So recently we have deployed our solution with Colgate. So one thing is I did not talk about that because that was related to the oral solution. So it works same way. Only thing is the screening that we do differs. Okay, and we have deployed our oral solution in UAE, in Africa, Nigeria as well. They used our solution to detect the oral problems in lot of areas that they have. And recently we had deployed with Colgate India as well. It was one of the largest oral screenings operations that we have done all over the world, not just in India. So yes.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very interesting also this application. So our audience, if you have any questions to Mr. Arun or Mr. Minaik, now is the time to launch your questions to our speakers. I have several questions to both of them, but first I would like to our audience could start if they prefer.
There is a question in the chat from Carlos.
Yeah.
Logi AI matches hospital scoring instruments or cataracts diagnosis is made with your platform.
Yes, so the solution, everything works in our platform. We are able to give them the dashboards and everything that they can look for, but we don't need any extra instruments per se. It's just a smartphone where it works. You don't need any extra instruments.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions from our audience? So I have both two questions for both speaker of today. The first question is, what is your business model? Is a B2B or B2C? The second question is, I think in both cases, the application of the technology could be expand to other fields. For example, in the case of the platform of Arun, I think I see the application in the sports field also. I don't know if you are consider these options. In the case of benign, I think other application also in the field of the health could be all the disease, prevent disease in the field of the dermatology's disease.
Yes.
Okay, so Please, Arun, can you start?
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, I'll answer the second question first. So it has a lot of use cases where this becomes applicable. So it's just that since we already collaborated with a lot of physiotherapists in terms of using our other platform, it was much easy to use this use case for the physiotherapy patients, right? But then, like you rightly said, this has other use cases. One is definitely sports. Other is in terms of yoga or any training or any activity that involves the movement of the joints, right? And this also is even applicable to the industries where to keep track of the working of the employees in terms of whether they are using the right posture or are there any posture corrections that we could do using this, right? So they don't end up with those issues, or we can prevent those issues even before it happens to those employees. So those are some of the use cases, but we are still trying to do this in a small way with the physiotherapists first, so the solutions become slightly more mature before we use it in the other spaces, is what we do. And in terms of our business model, I mean, initially we thought we could scale very well in a direct B2C model, but unfortunately that didn't happen, or that didn't work out, where the patients didn't really trust us, saying some new guy coming and saying he can do physiotherapy well, right? So they still trust those local physiotherapists whom they already are working with. Right, so that's our lesson learned. So because of which we now pivoted, instead of directly trying to get to those patients directly, we now partner with these physios to collaborate to give it to their patients in a B2B2C model instead of a B2C platform that we had originally hoped or planned for.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arun. And in your case, Vinay, what is your business model, and also what is other possibilities to application of this technology?
Yes. So our solution, like our business model is totally B2B. The end user is not whoever's basically the patient or whoever is taking the screening is not our customer. Our customers are the hospital chains or maybe pharma companies like Colgate uh, or eye clinics per se. So these are our customers. We sell our solution to them, so we are a technology partner to them. We sell our solution to them using some licensing, and then using this solution they are able to do all the screenings. So that is how our business model works. Coming to the next question, so as I have suggested earlier also, that we are also working in the oral area. So apart from the eye, we are also into the oral screening solutions. Apart from that, we are always doing some R&D to add some new use cases. But these are the two solutions that we have right now.
Okay, thank you so much, and congratulations, because both solutions are very, very interesting. I think we can aspire to us to look for other new solutions very, very similar. And maybe we can encourage the collaboration of Spanish companies and Indian companies in the development of new solutions relating to that. Okay, so any more questions from our audience?
Okay, we have one here in the chat.
You are talking about licensing your platform abroad. Do you comply with the EU health regulations? I think it's for both. The question is for both, for Arun and Vinay.
Okay, so maybe I'll go first. So yes, so when we built this platform, we built it with HIPAA standards in mind and with GDPR regulations, right? So currently, this I mean, our servers are based in India, but if we have those collaboration opportunities in Europe, we'll be able to shift those servers or set up those servers in Europe to ensure their data stays within the Europe EU region, right? To comply with the GDPR regulations. So the answer is we will be able to configure it in a very short duration if needed.
Yeah, so for us, Um, because we are taking some biometric data, it is like the regulations are little bit stricter for us, right? Um, then again, we are not still in Europe because we know that we have not complied with all the regulations as of date, but we are working on that. So for example, the any country that we work with, let us say some countries in Africa, we have complied with their regulations, rules and everything. And once these regulations we are able to comply, only then we are able to deploy a solution there. So we are working on that. But we have not completed the regulations required for Europe right now, but we are working on that.
Thank you so much. Before to finish, I would like, Bindu Nishal, please, I would like to hear you some words about this kind of collaboration of Spanish and Indian companies, and also about the example that we learned today about the companies you have in your park.
Thanks, Soleil, and thank you for organizing. Actually, this is the second meeting that we have done in trying to create partnerships between companies in India as well as companies in Spain. So I think congratulations for successfully doing it. We have 2 today, but this is a very good start. I would have loved to hear from the Spanish companies as well, to see if there is an alignment, and the other guests who are there today, they're all very silent. I would have loved to hear from you, from all of them. So the idea behind doing this is to create a higher degree of synergy and to help startups internationalize, not just from India to Spain, but if there is an interest from the other way possible, IKP could be a platform, and similarly, APT could be a platform to make sure that we make this happen. So I'm very excited about this. Happy to hear from both Vinay and Arun today. I've known about Vinay and AI, Logi AI, Priyanjit. I know them quite well. But Arun, it was really good to see you today and hear about you. So there are a couple of other companies that couldn't come. As you know, Soleil, we were trying to get them to come. So our portfolio is still quite diverse. So if we want to have another set of meeting, maybe not a webinar, but a direct meeting, we would be happy to organize that as well. And very excited to see this going to the next step.
Thank you so much. Yes, you are right, and this is not the last activity that we are going to organize. We continue to organize next activities, because our main goal is to promote the collaboration, the synergy between our companies, startups, and your entities. So we are going to continue to organize activities of networking, of sharing knowledge about use cases, and then maybe not the possibility to organize travels to discover your R&D ecosystem and our R&D ecosystem to promote soft landing activities and so on. So thank you so much, Bindu, for your help and your effort to support this kind of collaboration. Thank you so much. And I think we have a question from Carlos. Carlos, when you want.
Okay, thanks. Just to be smart regarding what Bindu says a few minutes ago, not to be in silence or full in silence. For instance, Arun's technology is some examples that now companies in Europe are moving ahead with. They're trying to monitor, for instance, elderly at residences in order to prevent falls, or at least just to find that someone has a fall, using just the technology, I imagine, similar to the one he offered us today. And regarding Vinay, in his video, they also talk about matching the technology in different uses, for instance, with diabetes. So using this kind of technology, and practically the one we have, all of us at home, regarding our mobile phones, are very, very good. So congratulations, and keep moving.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Yes, both of the use cases today are very interesting, amazing application of the technology to democratize the access to the healthcare. So for us, it was very, very nice to discover these new use cases. We promote the solution between all of our companies and entities. For that reason, this webinar today is going to be recording and also be publishing by our YouTube channel, to people can see when they want to see. So not just people of today on live. So now very, very nice to discover this both platform and both application. I don't know if there is anybody with questions. One more question? I think
I'll just say that, Soleil, we should have a next level of discussion as to how can we create a soft landing platform for companies from both sides to, come visit, see how can we do it together. So I think that would be fantastic. Elena wanted to say something.
Yes, of course. I
Yes.
agree with you. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so if anybody has question, because everybody has very clear the potential and the benefit of this both solution that we know today, we can finish this international webinar. Again, thanks a lot to Bindu Nishal from IKP Knowledge Park in India, and also to our speaker of today, Arun Kumar and Vinay Gates. I don't know if I say in a correct way.
Well attempted.
It's difficult. The surname is difficult for me. So thanks again. We continued working in our main goal of remote collaboration between Spanish and Indian companies. Okay, thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye,
So much.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Thanks. As always, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.